That's what my unpredictable hair sounded like before Frizz-Ease. Sound familiar? We'll stop the crunchiness and celebrate your curls with Frizz-Ease Air Dry Waves. It gives you defined, touchable waves with soft, feather-light movement. No heat required and no frizz. And that's the sound you'll hear and feel with your defined, touchable waves from Frizz-Ease. Frizz-Ease Air Dry Waves, only from John Frieda.
Blog Talk Radio.
My coffee cup, I said, thank you. What if I looked at the day and the hours ahead, and before I moved forward, I bowed my head and said, thank you. Oh, I said, thank you. What if I looked at my life in a different way, took a little more time to stop and pray? I know it would change all the moments in between. So here I go. Thank you for everything. For loving me, it don't even matter what tomorrow brings. Well, I will sing my thank you for sun and rain, for what you give and take away, for all your goodness. I will always say thank you. Oh, I say thank you. What if I lost everything that I had? I could smile and somehow still be glad and say thank you, thank you. 'Cause life is joy, life is pain, but the prayer of my heart will never change. I say thank you, oh, I say thank you. Oh, what if I looked at my life in a different way, took a little more time to stop and pray? I know it would change all the moments in between. So here I go. Thank you for everything. Thank you for loving me. It don't even matter what tomorrow brings. Well, I will sing my thank you for sun and rain, for what you give and take away, for all your goodness. I will always say thank you. We'll sing my thank you for everything. Thank you for loving me. It don't even matter what tomorrow brings. Well, I will sing my thank you for sun and rain, for what you give and take away, for all your goodness. I will always say for all your goodness. I will always say thank you.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. This is T-Love, your host here at Energy Awareness Radio. I am a reconnective healing practitioner, certified vibrational sound therapist, and positive psychology practitioner at Quantum Wellness Center, my private practice located in Sussex County, New Jersey, where Energy Awareness Radio streams to you live each and every week. This is an exciting week. Courtney Amundson is joining us again. If you remember, Courtney was here in May. We had such a great conversation. She agreed to come back to talk more about the messages she receives from the divine and to offer you, the listeners, an opportunity to ask a question. So you must be in queue to do that. So call in 347-202-0227 to get in queue. Courtney was only 16 when she began following in the footsteps of Esther Hicks, Jane Roberts, Edgar Cayce, and J.Z. Knight as an extraordinary, powerful channeler. The messages Courtney received from the guides are compiled in her book, Teachings from God, Greeting Your Soul and Revealing the Divine Within. This is a fabulous book, which was the topic for discussion during the last show, and which we will be speaking about again today. Welcome back to the show, Courtney. Thank you so much for joining us yet again. How are you being?
Well, thank you for having me back, T. I'm so excited. I had an awesome time talking with you back in May, and I'm just happy to be here, and I'm excited to see what kind of juicy conversations we have.
Well, first I'd like to recap your book a little bit, just so that everybody's kind of on the same page before we get started with messages. So, Teachings from God, which is the name of your book, Reading Your Soul and Revealing the Divine Within, offers the reader a perspective of where we are in this cosmic landscape and how we can make the most of our time here on Earth. Now, we previously talked about the guides telling us that just being can be a great teaching to many. That is certain. And I understand that. It makes so much sense. If we all just pay attention to our own energy fields and just be our essence, which is love, we are then teaching by example, and hopefully others will learn from that. We touched on why it's hard for people to just love. It's a matter of growth and ego and letting go and not being judgmental and all those things that really bring us back to just being who we are and maintaining our own energy field. And the guides tell you and refer to us as humans as light workers. So we're all here to do good and make a difference. And we spoke about free will, and the guides told you that they hear our every prayer, and all of our prayers are answered when we choose them to be answered. We need to let go of our wants so our prayers can be answered, because it is within us that the flow stops and starts, and we control that flow by our own thoughts, of like want, which create resistance. And that's what we kind of talked about last time, and it was a fabulous conversation. We got a whole lot in the hour that we had together. Today, you're asking Spirit to be the voice for us so that we can cover, the most important topics and how we can utilize the gifts that we have and the tools that are available to us to ground, or use them as grounding rods and healers as in this world that is truly suffering a lot right now. And I think everyone is seeking guidance as to how we can see above all the chaos that's out there, just so that we can get to the spiritual truth that we're being guided to look at. And then we can take listener calls after that. Does that sound like a good game plan to you?
Sounds great. I am so passionate about this. And as we spoke about earlier today, there's so much going on in the world right now. And so it's even more vital in this time to really be present and utilize our full potential.
And as you and I talked, I think, okay, you're extremely sensitive because of the work that you do. I'm sensitive because of the work that I do. So typically when you're sensitive and you're doing work like this, we know the tools to use to ground and stay centered and keep everything at bay, if you will. But even for me and maybe for you, there's a lot going on that's kind of getting to me, creating agita, angst, anxiety, all those nasty A words we don't want, stress. And I think it's happening for a whole bunch of people because of all the energy that's going on universally now. If you just look at what's happening in the world, you cannot help but have it penetrate at some point when you turn on the TV and you see shootings for no reason and anger and bullying, and it's all in the political arena, the bullying and the nasty name calling and all of that. Why is this happening? Is Spirit saying anything about why this is happening? Is there a cleansing going on? What are we to gain from all of that?
I see this as a cycle, another cycle, and it's very hard for us as human beings to look past what we see with our eyes, and I think that is what I'm struggling with and everyone is struggling with right now is, like you mentioned, it's just hard to look at the news or even listen to a lot of conversations happening on the street, because a lot of it has to do with, you know, the violence and the politics and the craziness. And honestly, I feel that this is a cycle for humanity and for our Earth, and we're seeing such contrast right now. And I think, you know, from what I've learned on my journey is that we need to rise up to the spiritual truth and not rely on what we see with our eyes, not rely on our human mind to understand what's really going on, because I don't think we will get to the root of it through that. But what I've seen in my meditations in the last couple of years has been about this rebirth. And even looking back on 2012, you know, half the world thought that we were going to die and that the world was going to end, and we interpreted the Mayan calendar as the end of the world, when it was really about a new cycle, a rebirth. And that's how I see all this. I see this as another cycle, and the Earth has been through, and humanity has been through many, many, many different cycles and transitions, and I feel that this is a point in our consciousness rising where all of the old energies that don't serve us, that we don't need anymore, are coming to the surface, so that we can say collectively, all of us together, realize we don't need this anymore, or we do need this. You know, we have to separate and become more clear on our priorities. And I feel that, you know, such violence is coming up right now because there's so much that we need to release. And you know, I forget what you said specifically, the word that you used, but I see it kind of like an unpeeling of an onion, sort of, where it's, you know, it's tedious and it takes a long time, but every you know, we get more and more to the center, to the truth, as we unpeel those things. As you know, as much as it is hard to see the chaos, and like you said, you know, the healers of the world, the people that are even more sensitive and tuned in, is, you know, it can be hard on that level to not feel the anxiety, to not feel the pain. And you know, I've made a couple videos on YouTube about this because it was, you know, I was so passionate about it. And something that comes to me often is about standing your own ground, about realizing your true power. And when you do that, you feel stronger in all that's going on right now. You feel that you are your spiritual truth, that when you are in your full, authentic light, that you're doing all that you need to do. Just like we talked about in our last conversation, you know, just being is so powerful. And that's what this is about. It's not, well, it is about what's going on right now, but it's also about how we can see past that and see that we need to awaken. We need to awaken, and we have to not blind ourselves anymore. We have to not pretend like there's some force outside of us controlling us. We are our destiny. We are our own, you know, most powerful healers. We have to know how big we are. We have to awaken to who we really are. And we're beyond this human body. And I think it's just hilarious sometimes. So many people question who they are. And I just want to come up to people and say, listen, Like, you have so much potential. You have to see yourself. You have to know yourself. You have to see how grand you are. And when we do that, healing is just going to spread around the world, and it is. But right now, what we're seeing is the spotlight is being put on the darkness, not on the light.
Mm-hmm.
And there is an incredible amount of light. Light always wins.
Right.
Always. We can't change that. It's always going to win, but we need to we need to shine the spotlight on the goodness of the world and not the negativity and the fear, because that's what we're feeding. And my last comment on this is that, when we're watching the news, when we partake in those conversations about the violence and the negativity and the murders and all of that, in a big way actually, we're contributing to the fear. We're contributing to the darkness by...
So we're feeding energy to it.
Exactly. And people don't realize that. They think that they are becoming informed. They think that they are doing their part. But if you're not stepping up to the plate and deciding to, how do I put this? It's like, when you're feeding that energy, you're not being your fullness. You're not able to offer your energy to the world in the most effective way. You can't send your light when you're in fear of the world, and sometimes that means not watching the news. Sometimes that means, not partaking in those conversations. It's not being ignorant. It's about being very conscious of where you're going to put your energy to benefit yourself, to benefit the world, not adding to the anxiety and the fear and the darkness. So...
And that makes sense. And the old energies that you're talking about that we need to get rid of can be circumstances, people, what we do, like watching the news and listening and then having a conversation. It's almost like when you're in a meditation and you get a thought, you observe it and you let it go. You can observe the news to know what's going on, but you don't have to participate because it really isn't of you. That's what's happening. Take care of your own world. If everybody takes care of their own little world, then the whole world will take care of itself, because the more light that you emit, the more it's going to overcome the darkness that's out there. Is that kind of like summing it up?
Yeah, definitely. And that's what I'm all about. Like, that's my passion. Because I've felt that. I felt, back when I was 16 years old and my journey started, and I started going into these really deep meditations, and that's when my book started coming through, and that's when the teachings started coming through. And, what I saw and what I felt in my life at that time was really profound. And I really, truly feel that I was being at the optimal, I was being at my optimal energy. I was in a authentic space of heightened energy. Like, I was allowing my higher self, my higher essence, to be with me 24/7. And in that space, I tell you, you're turned on all the time. You are tapped in and tuned in all of the time, and it allows you to have these beautiful interactions with people. It allows you to give somebody guidance when they need it. It allows you to see with clarity and with pureness the joy and the light in the world instead of the darkness and the negativity. It's all about where you put your attention. And when you raise your vibration of yourself, your personal body, your spirit, when you raise your vibration, your light, all of this becomes clear. You're refocusing your energy to where you want to be, what you want to feed in the world, and that's the light. That's the possibility. And we all have a support system with us. We all have, these amazing beings assisting us on this planet, and they want to help us, and they want to be of service to us. But we have to be the ones to initiate that. We have to say, yes, I'm in, I'm on board. And when we do that, we start collaborating. And you too, everybody that's listening, all of you, you can be voices of the divine as well. You can spread love and light and healing through your own voice, through your own actions. And it doesn't need to be huge. It can be small. And like I said, it's all about raising your personal vibration, going deeper into meditation, healing yourself first, having an awakening within yourself first, and then that just radiates, and it's not effort, it's natural.
And that's true of everything. When you're in the flow of what you're supposed to be doing, it comes easily, and things come to you easily because you're in your essence and you're doing what you're meant to be doing. So, and you don't necessarily have to go deep into meditation to get there. You just have to shift the perspective of things. When you see horrible things on the news, you can just say, okay, I see that, I observe it, that's done. You really don't have any control over it. There's nothing you can do about it except in your own way say, I'm going to now start to act a little differently when I see people and not be as reactionary perhaps, because sometimes a lot of things that happen are based on reaction. Is that correct?
Yeah, and I think also in kind of what I meant by, going deeper into meditation, it's about connecting with your own highest self. And so it's not, it becomes not just about deep breathing and clearing your mind, but it becomes a more personal type of relationship with the divine. And that is the key to everything. It's the key to, being more in tune with your personal power, gaining a deeper connection with the divine it's about you being clear to the authenticity of you. What is the real you? And anything that is blocking that is just something that you've learned in this physical world. And so when you form a deeper bond with the divine, then you can truly be of service. And it's really powerful. It's really powerful, and you can use that connection as a vessel, as a instrument to be a healer and to send your own light to the world. And like I said, it's not about trying to do something all of the time. It's not about following a 12-step process. Sometimes it's about learning how to be at your optimal level and allowing...
You're really breaking up right now. Uh-oh. Are you still there?
Yeah,
are you still there? Okay. Well, let me ask you this. How or in what ways can someone form a deeper bond with the divine? Is it only through meditation? Because a lot of people just they don't have time, they're not into it, it doesn't work for them, whatever the reasons are. Are there other ways? I mean, I believe that you can be by just being in the moment and taking care of what you're doing. If you are gardening and you're really into that, that's meditative. If you're into listening to music and you really get into it, you're totally involved in that. Whatever you're, when you're in the moment with things, when you're in that Zen space with things, in the zone, I guess. Mm-hmm. Is that a way to do that? Can people use that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, meditation is a loose term for me. Mm-hmm. I don't see it as sitting down and, getting your hands in the mudra and sitting there for 20 minutes. I don't see it like that. like that. Meditation for me has always been about being in the moment, like you said, conscious moment, and listening. To me, meditation is listening. It's not doing, it's listening. And the deeper connection to the divine is all about how much of yourself you are willing to sacrifice. And, okay, I need to restate that because it's not, the way I say that, some people might interpret it as a bowing down to God, similar to what we might see in, bowing down and praying, and that's not how I mean it. I mean that you are willing to sacrifice everything that you think you know in order to listen and to be guided by the divine. And the whole journey of me going deeper within myself and, to the point where I started to receive these teachings, my mantra, and I may have said this in my last interview with you, but my mantra has always been, I say this in my mind, I am in the universe is in my body, the universe and I combine together. And as I say that, I let go. I let go and I say to the divine, or the highest of light, I say in my mind, the highest of light, please guide me, show me the way, and help me to listen. Help me to be open to listening. And I let go. I let go of any thoughts that are there, any motivations. The letting go of motivations is an act of surrender. And it's saying, in my own words, it's saying, we're collaborating here. You're saying to the universe, okay, we're going to collaborate. I'm not going to tell you what to do. You're not going to tell me what to do. We're going to collaborate, and I'm going to step back. And that's how I see it. I see this as a taking the back seat kind of thing. It's meditation, and then I listen, and I really I see this as a really pure type of devotion, and not in a way that you feel that God is above you, but that you are equal, that you are one of the same, that you're part of each other. It's a deep love. It's a deep connection. And when I get in tune with that state of oneness, when I repeat that mantra, I'm in that space. I let go. I'm listening. I'm in the flow. I'm open and receptive. And that's how I form a deeper bond, because the guidance that I get in that space when I just listen is beyond any kind of teaching that someone else could give me, any type of plan that I could come up with my own mind. Anything that I'm struggling with, anything that I need guidance about, instead of trying to figure it out and drive myself crazy, I go inward. I ask. I listen. It's simple. It's easy. And when you realize that you can empower yourself into that own position, when you realize that you can go inward and get the answers on your own, that is amazing. And, realize that if you read my book, if you've read my book, you can do the same thing. That's crazy. It's crazy. We're all connected to that. And so it's about your own willingness to let go, to listen, and how much do you want to be connected in your life? How willing are you to be devoted to yourself? The more energy you put into yourself every single day, that's the extent that you're going to deepen your relationship to the divine. And so that's important to remember, to remind yourself of.
And it will also bring you the happiness that everyone is seeking, because the happiness is not the money and the cars and the homes and the vacations, and they can make you happy, but the happiness, the true happiness, is when you're doing and following from within, which is, it's like listening to your intuition and going with your intuition and knowing that you're being guided the right way to do things.
Exactly. And people need to know that they can do that on their own. that they can find that within themselves. And that, what I keep saying is that's the key. That is the key. Because no matter how many gurus you find, no matter how many masters you find, of course, there are going to be helpers to you along the way, but the true enlightenment comes from within yourself. And so I think that's the number one key. The number one key to going deeper is realize that you already have it, that it's within you. You don't have to go outside of you.
Have the faith and the trust that you are able to do these things on your own, and you can figure it all out just by listening to your own being, your own essence, because that's what we are. Or this is just our physical body. The humanist tends to come through. We kind of have to put that aside so that we can, right, okay. All right, so now is this a good time to maybe take a couple of calls?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. Now, what I do want to say about this is, in readings, and do let me know if this is correct or not, when we get a message, sometimes we can ignore what's being told to us, or we can refuse to accept it, or we can say, oh, yay, I'll follow that guidance. And in that moment, when we make that determination, we either move on because we're following the guidance, we stay where we are because we are ignoring it, or we put up resistance, which will bring about delays. So, in other words, I'm going to go back to free will here from the last interview. Free will is ours, and all the messages from all the guides available everywhere to follow a certain path will not make our life change unless we take action. Is that correct?
Exactly. It's up to us.
Okay.
Everything is up to us to make our decisions. And it's, our life goes with how much, like I said before, with how much devotion we put into ourselves, with how much motivation, determination we have within ourselves.
Yeah, I wanted to get that out because if you're called upon and you get to ask Courtney a question, it's up to you to follow the guidance or to go against it or just to, say, all right, yeah, whatever, I'm going to ignore it. That's up to you. That's your free will. Try to let the ego go and listen. These messages are coming from spirit. They're coming from divine. So she's going to tune into that and help you and give you information that's direct from source. And that's why you're on the call. I'm going to presume you're in the queue. So I'm going to read the last 4 digits of the phone number, and then I'll ask you your name, and then you'll be talking directly with Courtney. So you will be able to ask your question. The first caller's last 4 numbers are 2574. 2574, you're on the air. What's your name?
My name is Kimberly. How are you?
I'm good, Kimberly. How are you? And here's Courtney.
I'm great. Hi.
Hi, Kimberly. How are you?
Great, great.
So what do you want to talk about?
Well, I really want to talk about career at the moment.
Okay.
Because I'm looking to change my career, and I'm applying to go back to school, but I just don't know how it's going to be funded. But I applied anyway, and I just want some information from Spirit, on how to navigate the whole thing.
Okay. So I'm going to go inward for a minute, and you can just, if you would, just focus on your heart space and visualize a golden light there. Whatever visualization comes to you, I like to just imagine myself becoming one with the universe, seeing that light expanding in your chest. And everyone listening, you can do this as well to support her. Take a few deep breaths. Dear one, you have all of the answers within you. This is part of a journey of awakening for you, and part of your mission is about understanding how to discern the information that you get. And it is beyond just your intuition. It comes through your physical body. It comes through your physical body and how you are able to understand these symbols, how you are able to understand these feelings that you get. This is your guidance system. this is how you can understand whether you are in the right place in your terms or in the wrong place in your terms. But what we wish to tell you is that there is no path. There is nothing for you to navigate because you are always on the right path. And so part of this journey is about understanding the anxiety that you have is about not about the actual situation. It is about starting something new. It is about a new venture that you cannot predict, or you feel that it may not have guarantees. And so it creates this inner turmoil or this inner anxiety about what is to come. And you have masked this, or you have disguised this as something may be wrong with this path, and that maybe you are not doing the right thing. But what we are here to tell you is that, of course, you are doing the right thing. You are following your inner guidance. You are following what feels best, and that is what is most important for you. Now, what you can do in this situation is to understand the difference between your anxiety and the difference between following your life path with courage. And part of that will cause a bit of anxiety, will cause a bit of questioning within you. But that is not a reason to turn around, to turn back. It's not a reason to tell yourself that it is wrong, because, of course, it is right. There is no wrong. You are blessing many on your journey, and you will continue to learn so much and to spread your light in even bigger ways by moving forward on this journey. It is perfect. It is perfect. It will give you the tools you need to move forward in a positive direction. And what you need to know is that your guidance system is always activated within you. Your physical body tells you many things. And when you're able to tune in to that part of your body, if it is in your stomach, if you are feeling the tightness in your stomach, when you think about this anxiety, tuning into that, noticing that, allowing yourself to listen to the guidance that comes through in that moment. What does your body wish to tell you? And so you can have this conversation with yourself, asking your body and listening. And make sure to listen, because that is the most important. Listen, and then you will find the answer. And what it will always be about is your interpretation of the situation rather than the situation itself, you see. It's always about how you react or how you interpret or what stories you tell about this situation or experience that make it what it is. But there is no wrong path. You are always on the right path, dear one. And we want you to have excitement. We want you to beat the drum of excitement, because this is what your path is all about right now. It's about being in the flow. It's about moving forward with joy and excitement, knowing that you are always on the right path, that you cannot do anything wrong, that all you will do by having joy and excitement and not fear and worry is bless yourself even more. Give yourself healing on a deeper level. And your soul will be even happier to see this enhancement of you. So we wish for you to hear that in every cell of your being at this moment. And notice that you can tune into your guidance system at any time. Ask yourself these questions that you have in a quiet moment of your day and listen, and you will get the answers. You are in tune enough. You know you are part of this wholeness. You are part of this grandness, and your light is bright. And so it is.
Thank you.
Okay, can I say something? Okay, Kimberly, you first stated that I believe you said this, I don't know where the money's going to come from, but I signed up for the class anyway. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So, Courtney, and I'm just, listening here and asking this out of curiosity. What I'm hearing Spirit say is that she took a leap of faith and she's following her intuition. She's doing the right thing, and somehow or another, down the road, the money is going to come and she should be taking this class. Is that correct?
Yes, she should be. And the biggest lesson here is to not doubt. Do not doubt. Trust, believe, and have joy and excitement, because that is what will get you there. You see yourself as already there. See yourself as already accomplishing. And don't go into this with putting your energy into the fear of not knowing where you're going to get this money or what's going to come about of this new adventure, because you are provided. We are innately abundant. We deserve abundance, and have that as your mantra, and just believe and trust and follow the signposts.
And I think Kimberly already did it, because the fact that you said, I signed up for the class, I don't know where it's coming from, right there, that shows you took a leap of faith. You have the faith and trust in it. So you already did that part. You did follow your guidance. Does that make sense to you, Kimberly?
Yes, absolutely.
And just to keep up that
momentum.
What's the word? To keep the ball rolling, in another word. Just like T already said, keep the trust, and it's not even trust, it's knowing that everything is perfect as it is. So you've got this.
All right. Thank you.
Does that make sense, Kimberly?
Much. Yes.
Okay,
yes,
good.
Absolutely.
I say kudos to you for doing it in the first place. Yay, right on. Keep going.
Yay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you,
welcome.
Kimberly. Have a good night. Okay. I thought that was great, because when you were talking, I thought, but she did this. She took the leap of faith. She jumped already. Good for her, because that's difficult, I think.
95% is already done.
Yep. Okay, so our next caller, this is a strange number, but the next caller, it's 1111. You're on the air right now. If you can hear me very clearly, it's you.
Yes, I can. Hi.
Okay, great. What's your name?
My name's Suzanne.
Suzanne? Okay, Suzanne, here's Courtney.
Hi, Courtney.
Hi.
I'm looking for a reading, but what do I have to ask you a question, or can you just tell me what you pick out?
Okay, I'm not hearing her very well.
Okay, she wants to know if she
quiet.
should ask. I know her microphone is very low. She's asking, should she ask a question, or can you just give her general what does Spirit want to tell her?
I can go general.
Yeah. Is this? Do I have a message from Spirit?
Okay, let's do that. So again, if you would just place your attention on your heart space, maybe even just put your hand there for support. Visualize that golden light expanding. Dear one, we see the beauty of you, and we want you to see the beauty of you as well. For your light is expanding, your light is growing day by day, and this is a beautiful, beautiful time for you, because for the first time you are able to really truly see yourself, to truly understand with every cell in your being that you are magnificent. And this is amazing. This is incredible. We applaud the human being who is able to tune into themselves, to find the strength and courage within themselves to take off their blinders, to truly see without the veils. And it's beautiful, and there are no words to express the beauty that is you. There are no physical words, and so we allow the energy to be the words. Each and every one of you that is here, that is listening, being the presence, expanding into the oneness that we all are, recognizing the beauty of this being who is doing her service, that is being the light, and doing it with courage and strength. Applause is necessary. And we say this because as we are looking at your lineage on a soul level, you have worked hard and you have done well. And it has not been easy for you, always. But what we see is a grandness and a wholeness and a potential that is beyond your belief, that is beyond your awareness. There is a tenderness in the energy that we are giving to you, that we are sharing with you, because there's a tenderness to your energy. And we want to express to you the joy that we have for you. And if we were a physical form, it would be an emotional meeting. Because as we said, we see you at your purest form, how hard you have worked, how much you have done, not only for yourself, but for all of humanity. On a soul level, you have done much, you have accomplished much. And this is somewhat of a rejuvenation time for you, a celebration time for you, celebrating all that you have done, all that you have accomplished. So it is important to nurture yourself, and nurture yourself well. Not only your mind and your spirit, but your body, but every part of you, nurturing, loving, expressing with your authenticity. Each and every day doing everything and anything that makes you feel most in the flow, which makes you feel the best and the most expansive version of you. This is a celebration lifetime for you. And each and every one of you, each and every piece of you on a soul level is awakening to this, awakening to the celebration, awakening to the beauty of you. So we say congratulations to you. And as always, we are with you all of the time, anytime you ask for us. We will be there. We will speak with you. We will hold space for you, give encouragement to you, and always reflect the beauty back to you. And so it is.
Well, I, for one, thought that was great because it was talking about her soul, and so it encompassed everything that she's done in lifetimes up to this point.
Yes, I'm feeling a lot right now, and it's interesting going between readings like this because I feel so much, and I feel from the perspective of spirit when I'm in that space. And like you all heard just now, there's an incredible amount of the tone changed for one, but what was really felt was the energy, not just serene and just beautiful, calm energy, but also a deep sense of gratitude, a deep sense of celebration. So it's really beautiful to for all of you to experience that as you're listening.
And Suzanne, how do you feel?
I guess I was. It felt more like a meditation. been anything. I guess I was hoping for some sort of an intuitive reading of what's going on around me, more so than a soul. It felt more like a meditation to me. That was just my interpretation of it.
It really was telling you what was going on around you, though, and all the good that you have done. But see, you have a difficulty recognizing that in yourself.
There's a subtlety to the way that message was conveyed, and part of that is about you tuning into yourself and going deeper within yourself to really expand on what we just touched upon. And really that's what it was. We just touched upon a bit of where you are right now on a soul level. And there's something very empowering about finding that deep sense of clarity on your own. And so some people, just as you just expressed, some people are sometimes looking for a yes or no answer, or a do this or do that kind of thing. And what I have learned and what Spirit is showing me is that it's really about us opening up, getting to the place of receptivity within ourselves to go there. But energetically, the reading that was just given was all there. Energetically, it was all there. The words might not convey everything that you were listening for, what you were wanting to hear with your mind, but the energy, if you tune into that energy, everything was conveyed. So listen to the words that weren't spoken, if that makes sense.
And,
in the energy.
And I think, too, maybe in a day or two, you'll have an aha moment and you'll realize that you get it. Because sometimes it does take that to get it.
I agree.
Does that make sense to you, Suzanne?
Yeah, I'll put it away and I'll see.
Yeah.
It's just, I just trying to understand.
Yeah, and sometimes it's difficult to do that because we as humans are listening to the words instead of listening to the, as she said, the energies of it. If you go back and listen to this and you listen to your reading, you might need to listen to it a few times, but you're going to get it because it's right there. It's right there. You just need to learn to translate it and interpret it so that you understand it. So I think if you do that might do you well.
So really, what I heard was that this is a time for me, or this is a lifetime for me. Is that what it was? It's my coming into my own, or something like that.
It's celebratory. Yeah. All the good that you've done. You need to really go and listen to this again, and I think it was probably started at 6:38, which would be Eastern time. So look, an hour and 38 minutes into the hour, and you can probably hear the end of the other one in yours starting, and just fool around with that to get where you need to be. And listen to it a couple of times. You will get it. You absolutely will get it. This happens many times.
I want to say also, just have patience. Have patience with yourself, because sometimes. And for me, looking back on readings that I've done for myself, it's taken me a couple of years to finally have an aha moment. Oh my gosh, that's what it meant there. I didn't get that. So let it sink in. Let it just be. And maybe it's not time for you to figure it out right now. Maybe it's to let that energy just sink in. Maybe it's not about decoding it right now. Just a thought I want to pass on.
Yeah, no, that's true, because sometimes we get what we get when we need to get it. So the words were spoken to you, and now it's up to you to be ready to receive it. Maybe you're not ready to receive it at this moment, but it could happen in a day, a month, 6 months, a year. We don't know. But it was a good reading, if that's any consolation. Thank you for calling in.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, we have time for probably one more. Do you want to do one more?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's see. 0204. You are on the air. What's your name?
Hi, this is Kathy, and I'd like a message on my spiritual journey.
Sure, Kathy. I'm going to go right in. Once again, if you'd like to just visualize in your heart space that golden light, golden sun connecting you with the universe, feeling the unconditional love surrounding you. Dear one, there is a beauty to where you are at this time in your life. And again, we have celebration for you. Because you have come to a place of empowerment.
Hello?
You have come to a place of empowerment. And there is celebration in this. There's celebration in this because you are learning how to be in your highest expression at all times. You are learning that following your soul purpose is the way to go. Following your soul purpose, not doing anything out of obligation, not putting your energy in ways that feels extraneous to you, is the best use of your energy. And so at this time in your life, you are truly stripping away anything that does not serve you any longer. Anything that you have been holding on to that feels like it is becoming too much right now, too much to handle, or maybe you are feeling distracted a bit. And part of this distraction is simply the letting go of some of these things in your life that are no longer serving you. And there may be some piece of you that is wanting to hold on to them because they have been part of your life for so long. And they have been part of you and your identity, your so-called identity for so long. And what you are now going through, what you are now moving into, is this idea that your identity is not stagnant. Your identity is ever-changing. Your identity is always in transition. And that is about how deep you are willing to go within yourself and allow yourself to change and transform and bloom, and to feel okay with that, to feel stable with that, to feel grounded with that. Because your identity, your truth is going to change. And that is the most beautiful part of you, and that is what you are awakening to at this moment. Is you are awakening to the beauty of a changing you, and that you can come to a place of stability and ease, knowing that you will change, and that is beautiful. You will move into new parts of yourself, new experiences in your life that may be uneasy at first, but you will find an equilibrium. You will find your ground. And as you do that, you will bloom. You will find new joy in your life, new happiness in your life, new experiences, relationships around you that will mirror back to you the beauty of who you are and help you to clarify on a deeper level what your truest desire is in your life, what you are willing to put on the line, what you are willing to go outside of your comfort zone for, what you are willing to put down on the table in order to live your soul's purpose. And what we want you to understand is that, again, we repeat this message to you. You are on the right path. You are on the right path. Your soul's purpose is not always one thing. And when you follow your body, the instincts you get, what feels best is your guidance system. Your inner guidance system always knows the way. And so it's important to not do things now from the mind as you have done before, but to move into the body, to move into your guidance system, to check in and to see what feels best. If something does not feel right to you, if something does not feel in perfect alignment with you, if it feels too much, if it feels stressful, if it feels extraneous, if it feels like obligation, do not do it. Do not put your energy there. Put your energy in the path of least resistance, and that will aid you on your journey. That will aid you in a deepening sense of peace, a deepening sense of knowing who you truly are, that you are always on the right path, and you will gain confidence as you listen to your own guidance system and realize each and every time that you were right, that your feelings were valid and are valid, and that when you follow the path of least resistance, how you feel in the moment, you will always be guided to where you want to be. So you are on the right path right now. You're discovering, you are unveiling, and it's beautiful.
Thank you. That's beautiful.
That was good. Thank you for calling in, Kathy.
Thank you.
Thank you,
You're
Kathy.
welcome.
Thank you so
Now,
much.
I know I said that was the last one, but I extended the time, and there's someone who's been steadfast. Everyone else, because I said it was the last one, hung up. Will you take this one final caller?
I will.
Thank you. 4252. 4252. What is your name?
Hello, my name is Catherine. Thank you, and I am so blessed that you extended the time for me. Thank you. I greatly appreciate both of you so much. Thank you.
You're quite welcome. Go ahead and talk to Courtney. Ask her your question.
It's involving work. There is a person that I reached out to today. His name is Jonathan. I really wanted to work with him, but he told me he's kind of busy. He'll refer me to someone. But I'm wondering if either A, he will change his mind and we will work together, or if he will lead me to somebody who I can work well with.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Dear one, we know that you already know the answer to this. Because what is going on here is your guidance system showing the way, and all that we are here to do right now is to give you confidence of what you already know. And if you were listening to what we just spoke of, to this last person, we were talking about following your inner guidance system, talking about following the path of least resistance, what feels best. And what we know from you is that you are very in tune with your feelings, you are very in tune with your body, and the information that comes through on an energetic level through your body. And so it is time to trust that now. It is time to trust that now. You are validation. You are your own validation, your own teacher, your own guidance system. And when you reach out to someone and the energy feels muddy to you, and that would be the best word to describe it. It feels like there are branches in the way, there are some blockades in the way, and things are just not connecting in the way that you would like to. And because you have such a passion and motivation to get things done the right way and to truly be of service and to get things and the right people in your path so that you can be balanced and you can be the light and present gifts to others, And that is very important to you, and we see that. And that motivation is important. But what is getting in the way of your clarity is that motivation. Because it is making you so determined to make it happen that you do not listen to your guidance. And your guidance is showing you that there's some things in the way of this connection, and the way that and the reason that it is not, you are not being hooked up right now in an easy way is because you are not on the same vibration. You are not on the same wavelength. Therefore, you cannot connect on this physical plane. You cannot work together in this way. And this is not indefinite. It is just where you are at this moment. Where you are at this moment. So we want you to just accept, okay, deep breath. It is how it is at this moment. The guidance that you received is true, and you know the answer to this by the way it feels, because as you asked your question, you wanted to make this work. You wanted to make this work, make it aligned, get it all together and perfect, get it scheduled. But what you really need to see right now, slow down and listen. Other opportunities will present themselves to you as you open those doors of resistance. And the resistance that we're talking about is letting the resistance go of needing to figure this out on your own. You don't need to figure this out on your own. What you need to do, stay in alignment with your purpose, your intention. Let that be what you focus upon. Only that. Not how you are going to do it and the whole breakdown of the schedule of how you're going to do it. Stay clear on your motivation and your inspiration, and let the rest unfold. Watching for the guidance, listening for the guidance. And if it does not connect right away, it is not the right thing. When it is the right thing, it will be resistance-free. You will connect on a soul level. You will feel like you are on the same wavelength instantly. That it is almost like you finish each other's sentences because you are on that same vibration. And from there on out, it will be smooth sailing, and everything will go much, much easier because you are not trying so hard to make something work that does not fit. It is like two puzzle pieces that do not fit together right now. So let it be as it is. More magic will come to you when you let go. So that is what we have to share with you in this time. Noticing you are your own greatest teacher, and you have this guidance system within you, so listen to it. We love you.
Oh.
Wow.
That was sweet.
Oh my God.
That was really nice. I like the part about we love you.
That comes with everyone, by the way. If I didn't say it to everyone, just take it as a granted.
Well, thank you so much, caller. Thank you for calling in. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Well, we're past the top of the hour, but that's okay. We extended. But, Courtney, before we go, I'd really love it if you could tell our listeners how they can learn more about you. And you do have readings on your website, which is teachingsfromgod.com. And where can they buy your book? I know they can get on your website, Amazon, local bookstores.
My website would be the best way to go.
Yep.
That is through Amazon, so you can go either way, but if you go to my website, teachingsfromgod.com, I have my book available on there, and all of my contact information is on my website, so you can connect with me. And if you would like to book a reading with me, I'd love to help you out and help you gain clarity. I have 30-minute sessions or hour sessions, and that's available by phone or Skype. So I would love to connect with you guys.
That's terrific. Yes, and and listening to these readings, you can see how different and yet full that they are. There is a message there, and they're very full. So, and these are just short readings, so go ahead and check that out. And I'm so grateful that you were able to come back on and join us here at Energy Awareness Radio, and for going overtime. I really appreciate that an awful lot. I don't know what it was about that caller. She had been on the line for such a long time, and I thought, you know what, let's just take it. It's the last one in the queue. Everybody else dumped out. I think she needed to hear it, and I hope that she gets it, and if she didn't get it, that she gets it, within a short amount of time, so that it really clicks in with her. Thank you again, Courtney. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me back on. I'm really honored to be here, and thank you to everyone that called in. And if you didn't get your question answered, feel free to book a reading with me, because I love to just go deep with people, and my passion is to help you realize what you already have, because this is what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you again for giving me this opportunity.
You're quite welcome. And on behalf of everyone here at Energy Awareness Radio, I thank all of our listeners for tuning in. Tune in next week. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at NRG Aware Radio. That's at NRG Aware Radio. Please check out my new children's foundation, SojiHuggles.org, SojiHuggles.org. It's an organization specifically for children in dire need. There are a lot of kids that don't have one meal a day. They don't have pajamas. They don't have a change of clothes. They're in this country, and we need to help them. And that's what that's all about. So go ahead and check that out, please. And I am your host, T. Love, here at Energy Awareness Radio, intending you and yours a most wonderful week. Remember, living from your heart is quite easy. You need only give thanks to do so. Take care and stay well.
Sarah figured out that by switching to Metro PCS, she gets 2 free smartphones.
Your barbecue ribs are the best.
Take the rest home with you, Sarah.
Just like she figured out that by visiting her in-laws, she doesn't have to cook for the rest of the week. You too figure it out. Get 2 free 4G LTE smartphones from top brands like Samsung and LG after instant rebate when you switch. Metro PCS. Wireless. Figure it out. Coverage not available in some areas. Sales tax not included. See store or metropcs.com for details and terms and conditions. Sarah figured out that by switching to Metro PCS, she gets 2 free smartphones.
Your barbecue ribs are the best.
Take the rest home with you, Sarah.
Just like she figured out that by visiting her in-laws, she doesn't have to cook for the rest of the week. You too figure it out. Get 2 free 4G LTE smartphones from top brands like Samsung and LG after instant rebate when you switch. Metro PCS. Wireless. Figure it out. Coverage not available in some areas. Sales tax not included. See store or metropcs.com for details and terms and conditions.